Good evening and welcome to Racing Unleashed, where we go beyond the pinnacle here in 2024. What a season it has been here in the GT3s. It's been absolutely action-packed and there's been drama no matter where you look. We're live though for round 8 with 3 rounds left to go in this current championship, and it's going to be an action-packed day once again at the historic Suzuka circuit. What a layout and what drama lies in store for us today. I'm your host, Matthew Duffin, going to be bringing you all the action, as always, throughout the 2 races tonight, 2 30-minute races, in which will be a top 10 reverse grid in that second race, due to a few lower numbers than usual tonight. I think 38 drivers we're supposed to be seeing out there on the grid in this evening's race, so we're going to wait and see what we get out there. At the moment, there is about 5 minutes left of this current practice session, in which then we'll lead into that qualifying session for the pros and for the amateur drivers, as always. So, Suzuka, as we know, a brilliant circuit. It's a brilliant layout and brings a lot of challenges for these drivers. But after that, we head back to the United States. We can take a look at the calendar, and it's Watkins Glen, the full layout of the circuit, that comes next time out in a fortnight's time. It's going to be a brilliant race there as well. And then we head to Sebring for the finale, and you couldn't probably pick a better track than that for the finale here on the Racing Unleashed channel. It is going to be fantastic to see what them 2 tracks bring. But Suzuka today, an absolutely amazing circuit. Among a calendar that has been full of really good tracks, and some of the more popular circuits we see here on the iRacing platform that have been selected by our people in the background that got the series all together. It's been fantastic so far, and championships could be decided within these next couple of races. What we can do, though, is take a look back 2 weeks ago to the results that we had from our last race at Road Atlanta. Lewis Woods managed to get the monkey off his back and take that race win. That was big for him because he had a lot of second places this season and managed to take that first place. Gabriel then was in second place along with Lucas Prada rounding out the podium. That was in the pro category. The AM results went the way of Francisco Lopez. Now, I don't think that's accurate because he ran out of fuel at the end of that race. So I'm not 100% sure. I thought it went the way of Alexi Partonen. I believe it was Alexi Partonen from Eno Verhoeven, and then can't remember who was P3. I think it was Petri who finished P3 on the podium at the time. So that was your podium runners in the AM class. If you remember 2 weeks ago, that dramatic scene on the last lap coming down the back straight to the chicane where Lopez ran out of fuel, and it was really chaos for the for us on the broadcast and on the commentary, because we saw the gap really coming down, didn't know what had happened, and then we switched to him and saw the move happen live on stream, and it was absolutely bonkers to see just that miscalculation of literally probably a litre of fuel to get him towards the very end. The prize money, though, what the drivers are competing for this season, and possibly maybe cementing places as from tonight going forward, is this for the pro drivers, and €875 in their back pocket for the championship win. 625, 375, 250 and 125 for that top 5 position. And then in the amateur class as well, a little less, but obviously still some good prize money to take home with you. 500 down to 100 for that top 5 finish, but points on offer and prizes on offer, which we can see what the championship standings look like for that top 5. And this is really now where it's getting down to that nitty-gritty stage of the season. Lewis Woods now leads the championship. Don't forget, drivers have, I believe, 2 drop rounds in this series. So things still to change at the moment, but Lewis Woods leads from Gabriel with Lucas P3, Laubish is P4, and Alex has moved himself up into that top 5 with a good string of results recently. Nicholas and Alex not really in that top 3 contention. They mathematically can, but they are such a gap at the moment that you're not sure whether they will or not. The top 3, though, in this pro category, any one of them drivers could win it. Any one of them drivers could win it. And it's been fantastic to see the racing all season. Obviously, Gabriel has a race win to his name. Lewis Woods last time out as well. So really has been, has been fantastic. For the AM class, though, it's Eno Verhoeven, who is starting to cement that place at the top of the championship. From them, Francisco Lopez, like we said, just lost a few points. He got to the end of the race, but just lost a few more points. Alexi Partonen is then P3. Borges also, with that race win he had, sat in 4th place. So that race win has really propelled him up, and he's obviously looking for more to come from this race today. And then it was Alvaro as well, rounding out the top 5 in the standings. A lot of Ferraris out there at Suzuka today, but I can tell you that at the end of practice, it was Nicholas Laubish, who's not had a run of form recently, that has topped the timing screen, so that has been fantastic to see. The format for today's race, though, is one that we go back to from a month ago. It is the 10-minute per class qualifying. It is then a 30-minute race 1 with a 30-minute race 2, the top 10 of which are reversed. Normally we see the top 20 due to them smaller numbers. We are going to get the top 10 reversed, and that is the top 10 overall, not the top 10 in each category, or class, should I say. It is the top 10 overall that will be reversed, so that makes it very interesting. As we've seen in this other format, going back a couple of races about a month ago, we saw some of the AM drivers being at the front of the pro grid or at the front of the whole field, mixing it with the pros. And it just brings a different bit of racing where the pros, who are a little bit quicker than the AMs, just have to play the patient game. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. See, this is going to be well worth the watch, especially around this tight Suzuka circuit. Speaking of the Suzuka circuit, here it is in all its glory. You come out down that start-finish straight in towards just turn 1, the first corner into 1 and 2. They're really just a long corner. Brings you then into the snake. Now, the snake is the first 3 parts of this section, 3, 4 and 5. Turn 6 is classed as the anti-banked curve in towards turn 7, the famous Dunlop corner then, and really is a tricky part of the circuit, because as you come out the snake and up the hill, you've got to make sure you don't run that little bit too wide and touch that grass. Easy to lose the car. Down, though, again, to 2 even more famous corners, the Degners. Degner 1 and Degner 2. There you see 8 and 9. As you come under the bridge and up towards the hairpin corner, you come. Very easy to try and get a bit late on the brakes, look up the inside and make a few moves here or there through the hairpin. Really is a fantastic part of the track to set yourself up, maybe even get that run out of turn 12, which is classed as 200R, work your way round there and have a look up the inside in towards Spoon, this long left-hand corner. Key. Really is key to get a good run out of this, because you've got the long back straight all the way down into the world famous 130, or who doesn't remember Alonso and Schumacher all them years ago. Round 130R into what is called Casio Triangle, which is the chicane of 15 and 16. And again, you can make moves into that chicane as well, being late on the brakes, just getting the car up the inside. If you're brave, go around the outside of the first part, then have the inside line for the second part of the track. As you come down then round that last curve and down the start-finish straight, it really is a fantastic circuit, is this one. And it's really difficult to get right. You have to nail everything, especially in qualifying when you're just going for that 1 lap pace. You have got to be on the ball the entire way around this circuit. As you can see then, a few of the AM drivers are currently out on class. There is 19 of the AM cars. And there is, I was told off air earlier, a 20% chance of rain. I don't know if that is still lingering around, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that little bit of weather with a radar showing some may be coming in. That's going to be interesting to just see what plays out here as they come through the hairpin corner now on the helicopter shots here over the Suzuka circuit. And this is going to be fantastic to see as they all come through now. Really, they're on their first flying lap, so we're going to see who's got the pace in this first part. See, look, just going onto that outside curb, coming towards that middle part and second bit of Spoon as they drop down then the hill towards 130R. There you go. We're on with Eno Verhoeven at the moment, as he's coming up to 130R now in his Lamborghini. Championship leader just pulled away a little bit over Lopez, who was in second place. Just managed to just creep a little bit further away. But Alexei Partonen's really brought himself into this fight at the end of this season. He's keeping himself honest and looking to try and pick up a good result here or there. As down towards the start line now comes this of Eno Verhoeven. And what will the lap time be as he gets towards the line? He goes and does 1:59.249 then, with Partonen only slotting into second place. Parade has gone into P3 and Jan into fourth place as well, all within a second of each other at the moment. And there we go, there is Francisco Lopez trying to bounce back 7/100ths of a second quicker than Lopez at the moment. Rocco moves into P7 as well. And here is Sarni then, Sarni coming up through the snake. Currently not got a lap time on the board at the moment. Neither does Beltran or Cotran, Nyman, and there are two other AM drivers who, oh yeah, they are circulating. I can see the lap timer counting down on the timing screen. Casper Tunstead up into 6th place at the moment. So let's see what Sarni can do. Just stopping out there on the circuit. So not got a lap time in. Gone back to the pit lane then. This is on board with Johannes here then. In towards the Degnas he comes. Through Degna 1 into Degna 2 now. Using that runoff as much as he can. The Porsche behind him getting a lovely little slide on out the exit of Degna 2 there. Just managing to power through the corner. I would have lost him a little bit of time there, sliding through. Just looking at Verhoeven, and he is up on his sector times through sector 2 and 3 at this moment. Lopez is in the pits, only needs 7/100ths of a second, does Verhoeven in at the moment, but qualifying so little margins in this. It's all about them 2 races. And obviously being inside that top 10 to get the reverse grid. Good evening to Tony, I can see already popping up in the chat. Ike Fiori's granddad. As we can see, Johannes here then, P12 at the moment, just coming down towards 130, or is it flat? Sounds like it. As Paredes coming onto the pit exit now, Johannes then flat through 130, breaks into the Casio triangle. Gets it absolutely nailed through there. That's a lovely bit of work in this Ferrari. Beltran moves up into P4. We're down riding with P13 at the moment. Any improvement on that lap time? I don't believe there was. He actually, nope, stays down in P13. This is on with Jan in another Ferrari. Quite a few Ferraris out there on the grid. Nyman's just popped it into P13. Outlap for Paredes. Tunstead on his pit exit. Outlap for Lopez as well. Roggenbuck is into the pits, down in 16th place. Really hitting the curb hard there at the first Degna. Again, just letting that car just drift over the curb slightly, not being too greedy on that AstroTurf on the outside. Doesn't want an off track. Round to hairpin in towards 200R now. So don't forget the AM drivers, if you are new to this, the AM drivers, which you can identify by the darker blue stripe across the top of the windscreen, and the wing mirrors being darker blue as well. That is the banner, sorry, should I say. That is the identification of the AMs. You see there at the top of the windscreen there. They get 10 minutes in this qualifying. And at the end of the 10 minutes, they'll be allowed to finish the lap that they are on. And at the end of that 10 minutes, it will then be the turns for the pros to take to track. They can finish the lap they're on, but they will not get to start another one at that 10-minute mark. They will be penalised as well. We've seen a few penalties for overextending your qualifying times here at this qualifying format. A couple throughout the season have came and gone. Jan, though, coming around the final corner. The trail brake races Ferrari P10 at the moment, and stays in P10 for the time being. Miguel Beltran then comes towards the line. He moves up into P3, 3/10 off the pole at the moment. The top two really in a world of their own so far. They're really doing quite the business out front. As the blue and yellow Porsche rounding into the final chicane. Now the Casio triangle. Just clipping the first part of the curve, using a bit more of the second one. Down through the last curve he comes. Not really on a better lap time, is it? Is Jan here, another Jan on the circuit. Towards the line, no improvement there, stays P11 at the moment. Francisco Lopez didn't improve. He's just done another lap time behind. There he is in his orange McLaren. And Chandler as well, I don't think improved on P15 in the Corvette. Great to see a Corvette back out there on the circuit. This is on board with Francisco Lopez. as Cotran now moves up into 17th place. Sarni now gets a lap time in. That's good enough for the top 5 in this AM category. Drivers will be starting or finishing their last laps. 3 drivers in the pits, Pareda, Zarzo, and then Roggenbuck is in the pits, and so they won't get another qualifying lap in. They are done. Borges is also P9 at the moment, 8 tenths off the pole. Just look how smooth that Lopez is here. Through Dunlop. Oh, that's not what you want on your flying lap. Managed to avoid it. The question is, how much time did he lose by that Ferrari facing the wrong way in the middle of the road? That would have caught him out a lot there. And for Francisco Lopez, what time did he lose? Eno Verhoeven's coming to the line. He doesn't look like he's on an improvement. No, he returns to the pit lane, so he doesn't improve. Alexi Partonen goes into the pits. He's P4 provisionally at the moment. Jan Vartanen then is coming around. He's P11 at the moment. I believe he's returned to the pit lane as well. So a lot of drivers bailing on their final runs, clearly not up on their delta time. Alvaro in P13 might be on a better lap. There's a few more greens on there than yellows. Francisco Lopez did go purple in the third split time, and then down from there. So I wonder if that was just before he saw the car after on the exit of Dunlop through 130R. Is he going to finish this lap? Alvaro moves up to P12. Francisco Lopez, that was one of the Porsches off at the Casio Triangle, so he's obviously bailed on his lap. Here comes Francisco Lopez, and it was a good clean lap on board with him there, down towards the start line. Is he going to get anything out of this final run? He does find a small amount and improves to a 10th clear of Eno Verhoeven. Then this is now on board with Jan Sarni, who managed to put a lap in at the end. The penultimate lap for him was his best run. So this is crucial at the moment, that he can maybe move up the order, and I don't believe he has. That'll be a return to pit lane for him. And it's only Antonio Rocco who is on a lap. It's not sure. He shouldn't be on a lap, I don't believe. It should Rocco. So that it will hopefully be him returning to the pit lane and not getting in the way of the pro drivers, as you can see here, led by Lewis Woods, as they all are looking for that bit of slipstream, and you're not waiting to give themselves a bit of space. You see a lot of weaving going on the back stretch towards 130R. We're just going to go back to a few moments ago. This is at Dunlop. Look at that. And Lopez there looked like he kept it absolutely pinned on the exit of Dunlop before hitting the brakes in towards Degner 1. You saw the Ferrari there facing backwards. That was a huge moment for Francisco Lopez, but also quite the brave one. You will say that he may be puffing out a sigh of relief that that Verhoeven didn't improve on his time and that didn't distract him enough. Here is Lewis Woods then. Through the first curve in towards the snake now. He's got Laubish just behind him, and they didn't really give each other a lot of space here, did they? They've kind of gone with each other. And Laubish just having a few flashes there. That will just be his connection. Obviously, all these drivers based in their homes. So for Lewis Woods, in towards Dunlop for the first time on a flying lap. Now into the Degners he comes. A lot of curb there. You just see that car bouncing over the first part. It's a bit smoother ride through the second bit. Runs out a little wider than we see other drivers. These four really following each other. And Laubish, who was the quickest driver in that practice session. Now, I think Rocco could be facing a penalty here, because on my timing screens he is still circulating, which means he's possibly going to be setting another lap time. So that could be potential penalty coming his way at the moment. Into Spoon though is Laubish on the back of this of Lewis Woods. Now your pro championship leader. Going to be interesting to see what he can do in this run down the final stretch here towards 130. Lewis Woods keeping it to the left-hand side, bring it back across the circuit to the right. Flicks it through 130R now. Again, just using as much runoff as you dare. Look at how late on the brakes Laubish is there. Gained a lot over Lewis Woods. Under braking into the Casio Triangle. And he's going to have that slipstream all the way down to the start line. Nicholas Laubish looks like he's on a good lap time here. Lewis Woods keeps it towards the pit wall. And Laubish, well, he may have been on a good lap time, but it was invalid. he did not set one. Woods and Prada set a lap time in all of that, as did Jonathan Riley now, who goes P1. Statsenko is into 4th place. Marcus Valverde put a lap time in for P5 in class, but is down the order a little bit. Here is Alex coming towards the line now. P5 in the championship. We'll be looking to score some points here. No lap time for him on the board either. Now Rocco has returned to the pit lane. Don't believe he improved. No, stays behind Borja Zarzo. Didn't improve any, but we'll have to keep our eyes on the race control from that one. But it is Jonathan Riley of the Scuderia Ferrari HPE Sports team who's put it on provisional pole at the moment. This is Lucas Prada, then currently P3 on the circuit at the moment. The Czechia driver. Currently a 10th off the back of Riley. Him and Statsenko actually did the same lap time. Prada set it first, and that's why he is on there. Marcus Valverde down in 5th place, but between Pareda and Tunstead, excuse me, in that order. A few other drivers yet to set a lap time at the moment. Now into 130R comes Prada. Once again, in towards that Casio triangle section of the circuit. That is Laubish who pulls off. So Laubish, that's 2 laps done, and it's a long lap around here. He's still not got a lap time on the board. So the man who was quickest in the FP session has not got a lap time on the board here. What can Prada do? He stays tight to the pit wall. Any improvement? He does improve. Goes within 22 thousandths of a second of that pole time. Ruben Lasso here now towards 130R. He comes. Through 130R he goes now. Got to pick up that braking zone in towards the Casio triangle. This could be crucial time won or lost breaking into this section of the circuit. So far so good for Ruben Lasso. Not yet got a lap time on the board. Out of the 10 pro drivers, only 8 of them have lap times. Laubish doesn't. Ruben Lasso moves up into P6 though. And it is a pit lane start for Rocco. Set a lap time after the qualifying period had ended. So we said, didn't we, before we went into the on-track action, that we've seen penalties given all season for that. There's one given straight away. So not what Rocco would have wanted. A pit lane start moves him from 10th in class down the order on the screen. Here is Timotej coming through Degner 2 in the Ferrari. Andonovski to the hairpin now. Again, a crucial part of the circuit where time is won or lost. Exits lovely there as he comes through 200R now. Flicks it to the right. Long sort of right hand of this. Top 3 on an out lap, separated by half a tenth as Statsenko goes provisional pole at the moment. So very tight between everybody so far. Lasso's P6, Alex is up into 5th, Lewis Woods is 4th at the moment, and Andonovski up in 7th place, who we're on board with now. This is his out lap. Perez is P8, Valverde's 9th, and then 10th in class is Laubish, who's not yet set a lap time, and the session is coming towards an end here. So this is going to be huge for Laubish to get this one done, because at the minute he'll be starting behind all of the AM drivers as well. Here is Laubish coming up through Dunlop now in towards the Degners. Going to be a crucial run this is, because he's running out of time. Perez is in the pit, so he's probably done for qualifying, probably not going to be able to get out. Out the hairpin comes Laubish now, and I believe this is a flying lap for Nicholas, who would just want to get a banker lap on the board. I don't know if he's going to have time to put another lap in. He's got about a quarter of the lap to go. So I'm not sure if he's going to get one more run in here, you know, with 30 seconds left on the clock. Riley's on pit exit. I think that might be him done. He's now on an outlap. I don't think he's going to get the outlap in time. Prada then. P3 at the moment. Nice and steady and smooth, and it's nice to see the webcams of these drivers. Obviously, that is one of the requirements here at Racing Unleashed. You have to have your camera showing to be in for the prize money at the end of the day. Riley, I don't think he's going to get this last lap time in. 20 minutes have came. Laubich goes up into P5, so moves within a just under 0.2 of a second off the back of the post. That one lap he's got in was good enough. Now, I believe that that is the session done. I could be wrong. They could still be getting them extra 2 minutes. Statsenko here, coming round the final couple of corners. Another one from the Scuderia Ferrari HP esports team. Rounds the last curve he comes. Any improvement on that lap time? Nothing that I can see there. Car behind, pulls over to the inside. Nothing improved from that one either. So no improvements at the moment. Prada's returned to the pit. Perez in the pits. Valverde's in the pits. Here is Alex, P6 at the moment. Any improvement on his lap time? Currently only just 2.5 tenths down on it. See nothing at the moment. That's P6 for him. Lewis Woods rounds the last couple of corners now. Literally needs just under 1/10 to get pole, and he does right at the very end. By 0.2 of a second, Lewis Woods puts it on the front row of the grid. Provisional pole at the minute. Jonathan Riley now comes around the final couple of corners into the Casio triangle. Didn't look the most aggressive line at the second part of that corner there. Here he comes then, down towards P3 at the moment. That was his out lap, I do believe, so might have had the time to get one more lap in here. Here he goes. Let's wait and see what he can do. Andowski is on an out lap as well, but that one's probably not going to happen. Jonathan Riley then. Here's Nicholas Laubich. Any more improvement from this young man? 0.2 off the pole now. What can he do in that McLaren? Didn't look very stable coming out the Casio triangle there through the last curve. And no improvement. And it is Lewis Woods then who will take that pole position there then. So what a lap time from Lewis Woods. He left it very, very late, but it was a great lap time from him. His last one of the session to take pole by 0.2 of a second. Really good lap time from him. It was absolutely fantastic stuff from the man who won last time out at Road Atlanta. He's got that bit between his teeth and wants to make sure he can get away well in this race. Your final classification in qualifying then is Lewis Woods, P1, with Statsenko in second place. Jonathan Riley, P3 with Lucas Prada. P4, Nicholas Laubich will be alongside Alex Ngoe in P6. Ruben Lasso is P7. Timotej is P8. The pole position in the AM class, Francisco Lopez ahead of his championship rival Lino Verhoeven. Miguel Beltran, P11 on the track. Alexei Partonen will go from 12th. P13 for Jan Sarni with Igor Perez 14th place. Petri Lepere will go from 15th with Adrian Pereira 16th place. Marcus Valverde from Casper Tunstead, and it's Borges Arzo. Antonio Rocca will not be there. He will be starting from the pit lane, let's not forget, due to that pit lane start for setting a lap time after the AM session had ended. So Jan Vartanen will move up one place, as will Alvaro, and then Jan P23. Nyman is 24th. 25th for Johannes, 26th then for Chandler. Cotran will be 27th, Roggenbuck will be 28th, and Camillo 29th. Obviously, them drivers will be bumped up. That one spot from 21st down to 29th will be moved up one due to Rocco starting from the pit lane. So race one coming your way now. Let's see what will happen here. Going to be a crucial stage of this race. Got a long formation lap here, because that is Spoon where they sort of start at. They've got a long way to go to get round to the front of the grid. So this could be absolutely huge, absolutely crucial for some of these drivers in this session to get everything nailed. They move away now. Good evening to Nico in the chat. Hope you're well. As everybody, 2 by 2 they go around the final corner. Down through Spoon. Obviously Rocco starting from the pit lane. He's got work to do. Work to do from there for sure. He's got a decent amount of pace, so hopefully he'll be able to pick up a few places. Obviously very tight. We've seen a few incidents in this race. Race 2 is going to be tricky for him. Wants to get in that top 10, maybe to be in that reverse grid. Florian in the chat as well, wishing the drivers good luck. They come through 130R now then. So out of all the races we've had, including the 2 separate races on the day, it's Alex Dunn who's won the most in the pro field at the moment. He's had 3 race wins to his name in over Harvenen has had 4. And around the final corner they come now. We await the green lights. Lewis Woods has already decided to pull the trigger and go. Off he goes then. And they all now start to filter through the last curve. We are green here at Suzuka for the first race of the evening. Lewis Woods going straight down into turn 1. Got a great start. I believe that's Prada as well who's put it between the 2 red Ferraris into that 3rd place at the moment. He's been round the outside of that is the one of Jonathan Riley then. And I think he might just lose out to Riley here, who's going to have the inside line for the next part of the corner. There's another fight between the green and black McLaren, and that is Prada forced out wide, and Laubish will come through, as well as that of Alex to get through another spot as well. But Lewis Woods dropped the hammer early, got away well, and did exactly what he needed to do at the start. Now dropping down the field as well, just in front of some of the AM drivers. There is a battle there, and I believe that is Lasso and Timotej, who are side by side through Dunlop, now in towards the Degners. They go side by side together, but here is your race leader, Lewis Woods, leading from Statsenko and Riley then, with Laubish. Then that of Alex Prada, Lasso and Andowski down the field. There's a car a little wide. We've just seen one disappear and reappear there. So that's just obviously a bit of a connection for the Corvette driver of Chandler. Rocco has got started. He's only 4 seconds behind, so he's got time that he can make up in this race. And it could be make or break what happens here. Then here is Jan in that yellow and blue Porsche. Through 200R, is he going to chuck it to the left and look up the inside in towards Spoon? Partonen's got past Beltrans. That's crucial in the championship fight with Eno and with Ada Francisco. And they just hold it all together. Nicely done in that Porsche in the slipstream now down towards 130R. Lewis Woods is your leader, and he's just gapping that of Statsenko out front. Looking further back though, there is your leader in AM, the orange and black McLaren of Francisco Lopez. Here's Marcus Valverde, the pro driver in P10 at the moment. If you're watching the Race Unleashed channel, you'd have seen him in the Assetto Corsa Championship last week for the first challenge of the season. She's now made that step up into the top tier and looks to progress. Here is Johannes down the order in 15th place in that white and black with the green trim Ferrari on the back of the Lamborghini just in front of him of Cotran. Unable to do anything at the moment there. There's Alex with Prada behind him. So Prada obviously got pushed onto the grass a little bit, got squeezed onto the grass, and that cost him a couple of places. Top 4 just starting to pull away from Alex here. So Alex not being able to stick with them in the early parts of this race. And obviously the 2 30-minute races could be crucial. Top 10 at the moment, they get reversed. This would put Verhoeven on that pole position for the second race. There goes Prada right up the inside, late move, manages to not make contact with that of Alex. That's a great little look up the inside. Bit of hip and shoulder there though from Alex as he avoids going onto the grass. And Prada has to bail out of that one. And will think better 200 all through they go now in towards Spoon. Will he think of a late move up the inside at Spoon? No, Prada sits behind and waits, but gets closer and closer here as he's pretty much pushing Alex out the exit of Spoon. And will he be brave enough to try anything at 130 or has that Ferrari got enough in its tank to get alongside and pass going into 130 or? This is looking back from Alex. Has a look now, does Prada, and thinks better of it. Possibly had a bit of a lift there behind Alex as well, and now is he going to look for that late lunge into the chicane? No, still waiting and watching. So he tried to make that move then at the hairpin. It didn't work for him. Down the start line they all come now. Alexei Partanen, P3 in class. Close to the back then of Verhoeven. Francisco Lopez has checked out in this AM class early. Beltran is just behind Parton there in the black and red Porsche. And then you've got Perez, the pro driver. Crucial to see these pro drivers get through the field here. Great little fight this between two of the Ferraris and the Porsche. This is Nyman with Jan and then Vartanen just behind. P7. And is Petri's just dropped down to P7. So he's been overtaken by Pareda. There's Nyman. The Trailbreakers racing team. It's Vartanen behind, who is also from that Trailbreakers team, as the Porsche now having a look up the inside. Nyman gives him plenty of room, runs probably a little wider on the exit than what he'd have liked to, and that is the Porsche who's got past. And now the Ferrari might have a look, and no, can't do so at the moment. Tries to stick with him. Door gets closed as he's looking around the outside of 200R in towards Spoon. That's Laubish who's had a moment. Now, was there contact? Because he was behind the two red Ferraris, but was pretty clear of Alex. So has he lost it on his own? Has he made contact somewhere? Hopefully we'll be able to bring you a replay of what happened there. But Nicholas Laubish, who just can't buy a result at the moment, it's just not going his way. Partanen here, also part of that Trailbreakers racing team. Coming under pressure from Beltran. So down into turn one again, 6 minutes on the clock here. Obviously, we've been 2 minutes a lap. It's a pretty long lap, so drivers have got to get on with this race. 30 minutes is a pretty short time. They're only on that third lap of the race. Woods, though, has extended that gap up front absolutely majestically. It's nearly 2 seconds to this man, Statsenko. He's got Riley behind him. Really trying to push hard there is Statsenko. You can just see how much work he's putting into that steering wheel there. Just trying to get absolutely everything perfect and try and find every little bit of information possible. Grip wherever it needs to be. Statsenko then second place at the moment. Riley is just behind him in third. Big gap back to Alex there. So this is what I mean about Nicholas Laubish. How has he lost the car? He's either tapped the back of one of the Ferraris or he's lost it on his own. Because he is he'd have been well clear of Alex. He was right up the rear of Riley then. This is Prada, who is trying to get on the back of Alex a little more. Here's what happened though at the start. This is Prada just being forced a little wide. Bit of hip and shoulder there, Prada just tapping the rear back of Riley's car, and that really cost him. And this is what happened with Laubish on Riley. Goes up the inside, not really alongside. Riley kind of just chops the nose off a little bit, but I don't think this will give us a better angle. How much did Laubish have up the inside? Not a great deal, and you just see it unsettles the front of that car. Round it goes. He's done well. I tell you what, he's done very well to get out stopped and not go into one of the cars that was coming right behind him. So that is what happened there then. Woods now extending that gap to over 2 seconds. Great gap out front for Lewis Woods, who's looking to add. You know, he couldn't get onto that top step earlier in the season. He might be now like a pair of London buses, one after another. It's early days in this race at the moment. This is on board with Parade at P6 at the moment. In the black Ferrari. On the back of Sarni, and that is the Porsche of Perez, who is 8th in the Pro class, just ahead of him. Now, Partonen is in a good position. Sorry, Verhoeven's in a good position, because at the moment, as it stands, he will be on provisional pole for that top 10 reverse grid. This is Borges-Arzo then. Great to see Borges-Arzo back out there. Race winner back at Spa. And a good race win, good strategy from him in that race, as well as that is Laubich trying to dice his way through the field. That's up the inside of Marcus Valverde. Don't mind if I do, as he goes up the order one more spot. And that was a lovely, lovely move there from Nicolas Laubich. Just having that bit more pace. Valverde as well. Hats off to him for recognising he's making the move up the inside and probably thinking he's not my fight in this race, so I have got more time to make up in other bits. This is on board with Cotran, and Eric Cotran down in 15th place with Johannes just ahead of him. So it's going to be interesting to see if Johannes can keep that Lamborghini at bay. They come to 130R. Cotran there just having a bit of a look. And more than that, brave to get it done through 130R. Ruben Lasso now in towards the Dunlop curve he goes. P6 on the back of that of Prada and Alex as well. The Zenith Esports. You just feel like a move could open up for Ruben here, just towards the end of this race. He's got to stick to the back of them two. They're just starting to gap him a little bit. Lewis Woods has gapped Statsenko out from 2.4 seconds now, so he is absolutely flying in this race. So this bit could be crucial to see what he could do in this this period for Ruben. Here is Perez, P8 in that pro category. Can't stick with the top four in AMS at the moment, so not having his best of days as Igor. The Brazilian driver, who is just ahead there of Sarni, starting to pull away from them. And there is the top three, or second, third and fourth, should I say, in that AM class. Lopez is 2.2 clear as well in AM, so Lopez is checked out as well. He's having a really good day. Perez at the moment trying to get on the back of them in AM to maybe work his way into that top 10 pole. Here goes, and Prada up the inside of the Casio triangle. Left it late on the brakes. Oh, the rear wing's gone. It's the smallest of contacts. The rear wing's gone. The back bumper's come off as well. And that contact was very, very minimal. And that is going to cause Prada... Look, you can already see the damage it's done. Look at him down the straight line. Just nothing. And as he turns in, yeah, no response from the rear of that car. Shake of the head, returns to the pits, does Prada. Very strange, because that was very small contact on the back of that car. Be interesting to see that one back on another angle. Here's Jonathan Riley and Statsenko as well. We're second and third at the moment, having a good little race between themselves. Obviously, both racing for the Scuderia Ferrari HP esports team. Just aren't on the pace of Lewis Woods, who is his best lap is a 10th quicker than O'Reilly's. He's done a 58.9, O'Reilly a 59.0. I believe Woods is the fastest man out on circuit in the pro category. Here's Lopez all over the back of Andowski here. So he's also trying to get into this fight of Alex Lasso, Andowski and Lopez himself. trying to mix it up the top. Through Spoon he goes. Stage, you see the Ferrari Lewandowski in front just has a little twitch, a little moment there on the rear of the car, but nothing too serious. Just looking at that timing screen, Eno Verhoeven is only 2/10 on his best lap slower than that of Lopez. Lopez just managed to get that gap out front. It's 2.6 seconds, this gap. So Verhoeven just hasn't stuck with him. Lewandowski there just making a little mistake through the Casio triangle. Just went a little deep at the first part. No further incident between Alex and Prada there. Small contact was not down to any single driver. So it was investigated, but it's no further action. We can take a look at a few more replays. I believe we can show you the incident as well. This is what happened further down the field. This is Rocco having his own moment. Started from the pit lane, 130R on the curb. Round he goes. Ria just did not like that. Oh, the Corvette nearly got caught up in it. Hold your brakes as you come back across the circuit. This is the contact at the end. So this is Prada going up the inside. And that is very, very strange. That was the whole rear end just gave up at that moment. And you saw how twitchy the car was. Very, very strange moment there for Prada to have lost the whole rear part of the car like that. Casper Tunstead then P8 in the AM class. He's got Porsche's Arzo not far behind him. 2.6 seconds, by the way, the gap out front now. Lasso and Lewandowski are having a bit of a battle here. They've exchanged places. That is Lopez. Sorry, no, that's Lopez and Lewandowski who's had a bit of a battle. Lopez trying to make moves on Lewandowski now. And you can see there, look, that Verhoeven has just brought back a bit of time while these two are squabbling on the circuit. And this for Lopez, he doesn't really need to make this. Won't give him any points. It'll put him further behind Verhoeven in that next race at qualifying. At the race start, sorry, by dropping him down the grid. But I suppose he wants to pull away from Verhoeven now, wants to get the work done now. And worry about race 2 later. But Lopez all over the back of Lewandowski at the moment. Perez has got past Sani. In fact, no, sorry, Perez, I'm sorry, he's reading his P7. That's because Prada has retired from the race. I think Rocco pitted again. After that, maybe damage with him going backwards into the wall. They had a pit stop of 16 seconds. I'm seeing there on the timing screen. He's 29 seconds behind Chandler in the Corvette. So Rocco kind of had his race ruined in qualifying, didn't he, by doing that extra lap. Here's Alex in P4, just ahead of Lasso. Woods 2.7 now. Matching the pace of Statsinko as well, and a bit quicker than O'Reilly at the Riley, sorry, at the moment. Very calm out there. There's the lap by lap times of Alex and Riley ahead. And Alex, you can just see over the last couple of laps, just started to chip away on that gap to Riley. Again, 1.2 on lap 6. So what happened to Riley there? A little mistake maybe from him. So a nice quiet race at the moment at Spa. Nothing too major to report. Here's Petri, been on the podium last couple of times. Would look for a third podium in a row, but I don't think he's going to get it. That is Jan going up the inside in the Porsche, trying to get past that of Vartanen, and he does so. These two have been squabbling for quite a while now. They've dropped Nyman of these two. As Vartanen just having a look up the inside of Spoon. Did he just tap the rear of the Porsche there? Didn't look like it lost a bit of stability, did the Porsche. Vartanen then just getting very, very close to the back of that Porsche on the circuit, and Jan doing a cracking job in it to keep going at the moment. What has happened here? Laubish is up 7th. That is Perez, who has had a drama at 130R. He's going to try and rejoin the circuit, is he? Or is he returning that to the pit lane? He's returned that to the pit lane to clearly damage on that car. So two pro drivers drop down the order. They're going to be going from the back of the grid in this race, in the next race, should I say. That is not where they'd have wanted to be. Borges also gets past Casper Tunstead. That's for P8 and 9 in the AM class. In fact, they're still side by side, look, through the first curve. Borges also will have the inside line for the first part of the snake. Gets it done. And Tunstead has to tuck back in behind. Whoa, very close to the rear of Borges Arzo there. Just creeps onto the back of him ever so slightly. Good move, Borges Arzo. Moves up another place. Also got Eric Cotran, who's in the pits. I'm not sure what for there, but he is also in the pit lane. Maybe we can bring you a replay of what happened to Perez and possibly Cotran as well. It's Lewis Woods who leads this race. This is looking back from Borges Arzo on that of Tunstead just behind. And a great start to this race for Lewis Woods, as Tunstead looks to get closer once again. Hyman is now in the pits as well. So what has happened to Nyman then? He has also gone into the pit lane. Sarni's been overtaken by Laubish, as Laubish is trying to recover from his earlier mistake. So I'm not sure what happened to Nyman, but I'm sure it said Cotran was in the pits. He's not been in the pits. It is now Nyman who has retired from the race, or is in the pit lane, should I say. Yeah, interesting. Perez has come back out on track as well. He's repaired the damage and come back out. Petri here all over the back of Prada in front. Wants to try and make the move and get up that grid. And forget the top 10 in class will be, top 10 in the classification will be reversed. So at the moment it is Beltran who will be starting on provisional pole. Camillo has just moved up into P12 over that of Vartinen. Vartinen is now into the pit lane. We can take a look at a few replays. Perez here, look through 130R. Rio went light, round he goes into the wall. Bit of damage and he's probably gone into repair. We can see the onboard of that, just to report as well. Vartinen has gone into the pit lane, so maybe a problem there. But there you see, look, the rear just went light through 130R. And into the wall he goes. And the car not happy with that. So not sure what happened with Nyman. Not sure what's happened here with Vartinen. Vartinen was in for 4 seconds and he's on the way out the pits now. Is he light on fuel? There is no way he was light on fuel. Surely not. That was very... 4.9 seconds. Maybe so. Either way, I mean, still with 9 minutes to go. Is that a long enough pit stop to put enough fuel in? He'll be the one to know that, though. Here's Lewis Woods, nearly 3 seconds up the road from Statsenko. Great drive from him today. Vartinen there as well came out ahead of Cotran and Rocco. Igor Perez is only 13 seconds behind Rocco, so he's hopefully going to try and make up some places in these last 9 minutes. He's got to have some pace over Rocco there, though, to catch him with 9 minutes to go, because that's not a lot of laps left. Here is Statsenko. He's got a smile on his face. He's enjoying his racing out there at the moment. Crosses the line, last lap of a 1:59.363, so very consistent towards his best. Lost a couple attempts out to Lewis Woods last time around. Nice job from Statsenko, nice job from Riley out front. They've, just not had the pace of Lewis Woods, who got the lead early. Andowski here still under a lot of pressure from that of Lopez. Verhoeven has just brought the gap down a little bit more to Lopez here. So he's just trying to push on. Lopez doesn't need to fight this too hard. He's not going to gain any more out of this. Andowski as well, a part of the Scuderia Ferrari HP esports team. Perez back into the pits, as Nyman now is back out on the circuit. Not sure what's happened to Perez once again. That'll be him coming from the back. Here's Petri down in 8th place, lost out to Borges-Orzo. So Borges-Orzo really on the move in this one. Where is he? P7 in class, obviously in that top 5 in the championship, so want to try and keep up his place in there. Petri with a couple of podiums recently will just be gaining a handful of points over him. Petri then P8 at this moment. He's losing out. You can see Zarzo has got a bit of pace about him. Just starting to pull away here. Down the straight. Not far away from the back of Pareda is Borges-Orzo. He's got some good pace in that McLaren today. He hunts down after Pareda in the Ferrari. This is looking on from Petri, though, as we start lap 13 of this race. 24 minutes gone, so just under 6 minutes on the clock. Borges-Orzo coming into the first corner now, just trying to work his way through and negotiate that first turn. Here's Verhoeven. Quiet race for him. He's lost a couple of tenths over Lopez. A few replays again that we can show you now. That's oh, hello. Yeah, that's 2 of the Ferraris there. So that's what happened to Vartanen then, who had a moment through Dunlop, big twitch, and then the Ferrari behind, same sort of incident. Was it just a twitch for him over the curb? Yeah, just lost the rear. How strange, the pair of them sort of pirouetting at the same time. Lopez has now just got past Andowski as well, so he's now moved ahead of the pro driver. Well, that'll help him out as Verhoeven gets within 1.4. But yes, 2 of the Ferraris there making similar mistakes at Dunlop, and that'll be why we saw Verhoeven in the pits. Johannes is now into the pit lane. He's just returned there, I'm seeing on the timing screen. So he has also now possibly made a mistake somewhere. Cotran as well is in the pit lane. A few drivers just making mistakes late on in this race, and people's made their own mistakes here. Not really seeing much from this. Lopez and will be starting sort of that top 10 being reversed. He'll be starting about, 4th on the grid. Beltran obviously looking for that pole position at the moment. 5th on the grid, sorry, for Lopez. So Andonovski then losing out. Verhoeven's only 1.3 behind Lopez, so Lopez still needs to get on with this. But I suppose for Verhoeven, he's now got to get past the pro driver. He's pulled clear of Partanen. You know, at the moment, very quiet race, but he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's got that championship lead. It's a few more points in the bag. He's got 4 race wins to his name at the moment. Lopez only on the 2. So for Lopez, you know, get another race win, get another good result, especially after what happened at Road Atlanta 2 weeks ago. Cotran's back out on circuit, as is Nyman. Johannes, Perez and Prada have stayed in the pit lane. This is Beltran now. P4 in that AM class, on the back of Partanen as well. We'll want that podium, try and score some more points in this championship. They've got Laubish behind them, who will want to get past Beltran here, because that will put him on the provisional pole for the next race. So Laubish will want that 1 extra place here to have pole and maybe drive away in race 2. 2.5 minutes left in this one then. Leaders will be at the line to possibly start that 15th lap. Here we go. So I believe we're on the white flag now. So this is the penultimate lap of the race. We've just lost Beltran there. We think he's lost connection, we're being told now here, because we lost connection to his webcam as well. No, he's back. Right, so Beltran is back. So just probably a blip in his connection there. So that is Laubish, who's now got to try and do something. Another, he's gone again. So clearly a few internet problems at the moment for Beltran. Look at that behind. That's Borges also right in the slipstream here as Cotran's back into the pit lane. Borges also trying to go up the inside, follows them. Follows that of Pareda into turn 1. Didn't think of sending a nose up the inside at turn 1 there. Just happy to wait. Penultimate lap though. Yeah, Beltran, you're just seeing dipping in and out connection-wise, so he is just starting to have a few blips in that connection of his. That could hurt him. Here is Petri on the back now of Tunstead, who Zazo was fighting with earlier on. So I believe Tunstead's got past Petri here. Great fighting in this mid-pack of Petri trying to get on the back of Tunstead. That is the Corvette who's got past Rogenbuck down the order. That is Chandler who's moved up another place. Beltran is still there. There's that black and red Porsche just behind Partonen. So really crucial here for Laubish to possibly clear that Porsche, to put himself on that provisional pole for race 2 of the evening. To come through now. We're on the final lap. Lewis Woods has started the final lap of this race. So this is the last lap. Laubish has got to get ahead of. How can you pass a car that keeps disappearing? That's going to be the argument like that, because he's appeared behind him, so he's already got past him there. So Laubish is through. That is crucial as well, because he's now on that provisional pole for this second race. He's on the back of Partonen as well. I think you're going to see Laubish probably finish here. I don't think he's going to try and push. He's not gaining any points passing the AM drivers. So I think you're going to see him possibly finish there. This is on board with Jonathan Riley. Who is P3 in the Pro class. Oh, there we go. Beltran has been ordered to let Laubish pass due to them connection issues, as to obviously not cause an incident. Here's Ruben Lasso, who's been following that of Alex for quite a while now. Lewis Woods will be coming towards the end of this lap. He's just coming through the exit of Spoon. And what a drive from Lewis Woods. He checked out early, got the perfect start. Here he is. Great day for Lewis Woods, the Scotsman. Won last time out at Road Atlanta. Looks like it's going to be a second race win of the day today. Absolutely fantastic stuff from him. And down the last curve he comes. Lewis Woods then will take the race 1 win here. A great drive, not challenged at all. Lewis Woods, your race winner. Statsenko has crossed the line for P2. Jonathan Riley, P3. We have Alex from Lasso in P4. Lopez, though, will take that AM win as well. And that is 3 wins from Alex Andowski, P6 in Pro Verhoeven, and second place. Laubish got ahead of Partonen. So Laubish will be starting from P2 on the grid. Beltran P4, Sarni P5. Pareda 6th place. He managed to fend off that of Borges, Zarzo, Tunstead from Petri. Just behind them, Marcus Valverde. Look at this fight. Jan Vartinen here, who had that moment at Dunlop, has just got ahead of Rogenbuck. And he's on the back of the Corvette of Chandler. Too far back, though, from here, surely, to do anything in this of Vartinen. What a strange moment he had as well at Dunlop. It was a really, really weird one to see, with both of them going round. into the Casio triangle for the final time in this first race, and he's going to go the way of Chandler, who's going to manage to stay P13 in the Corvette. Vartan in 14th place, Roggenbuck P15, and we just await for Rocco then in that 16th spot in this one then. So that was the end of the first race. And what a dominant victory really there for Lewis Woods. Managed to just control his pace and not put a foot wrong in that one. Francisco Lopez, he had that fight with Andowski, the pro driver, but managed to as well just control his race and do exactly what he needs to do. There's a 3-minute wait time now while the drivers do the warm-up session. Whether they take part in that or just pop to the toilet or whatnot in that 3 minutes will be up to them. As the race 2 then will get underway, we'll bring you the classification of the results. Lewis Woods from Statsenko, Riley was P3, Alex in 4th, Ruben Lasso was P5, P6 Francisco Lopez, but your AM race winner. And Andonovski then in P7, P2 in AM was Eno Verhavenen, Laubish was then in P9 overall, P10 overall, and 3rd in AM was Partonen, before Miguel Beltran, Jan Sarni, Adrian Pereira, Borges Arzo, Casper Tunstead, Petri P16. Valverde down to 17th place. Not really the pace from him in the pro category today. Alvaro P18. Jan 19th place. George Camillo from Chandler 5 Ash. Jan Vartinen with Alex Roggenbuck, Antonio Rocco, Nyman Cotran, Johannes, Igor Perez and Prada down the order. What a strange incident for Prada in that race as well, because very, very minimal contact in that race. We saw the rear wing fall off, saw the bumper fall off as well. So very minimal contact in that race. It just led to him having to retire from that one. You just saw him turn into turn 1 and was not able to get that done. So the drivers are at a couple of moments rest while they get ready for race 2. You just see that they're actually over my shoulder, the small amount of contact. Just that was it. That was that all done for his race. There is Perez having that moment as well over my shoulder. While the drivers get ready for race 2, we're bringing that full classification off the grid order. Obviously, the top 10 drivers are reversed from race 1 into race 2. And that is the top 10 classified drivers from the overall result, not in class. So that is going to be interesting. Putting, I believe it was Partonen, or maybe even, yeah, it was Partonen, I believe, is going to be on provisional pole. Laubish, though, crucially, on that front row of the grid with a couple of AM drivers between himself and the other pro. So that is huge for him in terms of getting a good result. He's obviously had that race win earlier on in the season. It's been a while since he's had that race win, but second win for Lewis Woods, a third win then now of the season for Francisco Lopez. So really key for them. And Francisco would have just chipped a couple of points out of Verhavenen's title lead there as well, just to make sure that he finally and carries on to start chipping away after what he lost at Road Atlanta. It's going to be crucial to see what he can now try and gain here. Lewis Woods is actually out on the track, as are a few drivers at this moment in that warm-up session before the final race of the evening. And we'll get to speak with a few of the drivers as well a little later on. What a night, though, so far here at Suzuka. Obviously, we come back in 2 weeks' time. If you would like to be a part of the next race at Watkins Glen, make sure that a week tomorrow, the pre-qualifications will open up. If you want to get involved here, make sure you head over to apexracingleague.com and get signed up, ready for that next race. You need an I rating of 3,500 or more. We'll put you in the pro category. 3,500 or less than that will put you in the AM category. Free to enter, get yourself involved if you want to be on that Watkins Glen grid for race 9. That is in a fortnight's time, and the pre-qualification will open a week tomorrow. It's only a month away, or just under a month. The 1st of December will bring us the finale of the iRacing series. We're also back on the Racing Unleashed channel on that 16th of November with the Assetto Corsa race, the second round of that championship there. That's going to be an absolute fantastic race. I believe actually it's back-to-back, so I believe it is the Saturday and the Sunday, the Assetto Corsa Championship, and then on the Sunday for the second race of the weekend here at Watkins Glen on iRacing. So we're going to wait and see then. We have got now the classification off the grid order. It is Alexei Parton who will be on pole position from Nicholas Laubish. Eno Verhavenen P3, P4 for Andonovski. Lopez P5 with Ruben Lasso P6. Alex will go from 7th with Jonathan Riley 8th. Stutsenko will be P9. Lewis Woods P10. They're the top 10 who's been reversed. Miguel Beltran P11 with Jan Sarni P12. Adrian Pereira P13 with Borges Arzo in 14th. Tunstead will be 15th ahead of Petri P16. P17 for Marcus Valverde with Alvaro in P18. Jan will be 19th place, Camillo in 20th. 5 Ash will go from 21st with Vartan and P 22nd. Rogan Buck 23rd and Rocco 24th. Rounding out the rear of the grid then, Nyman P25 with Cotran at 26th. Johannes will go from 27th with Igor Perez and Lucas Prada rounding out the rear. Now, can tell you that George Camillo hasn't taken to the start, neither has Lucas Prada. Prada, who needed points really in this championship for that top 5, hasn't taken to the start of this one. So let's wait and see. It's a long drive then to that start line. When will Partonen decide to go? We saw that Lewis Woods went early. We saw it worked for him. Partonen obviously being that little bit of a slower driver than the pros who have been reversed in that top 10 will then be able to try and work their way onto the back of them, get towards Partonen as quick as possible. For Verhoeven, though, who starts right behind Partonen, he's got Lopez, his championship rival, right behind him. So let's see what will happen. The safety car will pull off into the pit lane in a moment's time as they come into the Casio triangle then. For the final time this evening, we're about to get underway with race number 2. Can Lewis Woods make it a 3rd win in Pro? Can Francisco Lopez make it a 4th win? Partonen has already gone out the last curve. He comes in, and so is Eno Verhoeven, and he's gone with him. They've both got ahead of Nicolas Laubisch at the start of this race as they all start jostling for position down towards turn 1. Laubisch coming back then at that of Verhoeven and in towards the first corner, and already a couple of cars, 2 or 3 abreast down into the mid-pack, Borges Arzo being one of them. And Eno Verhoeven going side by side with Laubisch. Lopez has tucked back in behind, and Laubisch is through. Good move for him. That is Borges Arzo going hammer and tongue with a couple of cars around him. You see there the orange and black McLaren making his way through the snake up towards Dunlop. They come now back on the outside line. Is that a Borges Arzo? At this moment, still side by side, works his way up another place, and he's got himself past Pareda there. So he couldn't do it in the first race, but Borges Arzo gets it done now. Casper Tunstedt as well, trying to get past Pareda. In the background, this is Partonen, who's got out front early doors with Nicolas Laubisch into that 2nd spot then. So he's already got a couple of cars between himself and Andowski. But further down the pack, Tunstedt also got past that of Pareda. Here is Statsenko up a place. Lasso going up his inside at the hairpin, though. That could open the door for Jonathan Riley. And there is Statsenko managing to try and fight back there, being squeezed at every part of the circuit through 200R from that of Lasso. Really squeezing him, bouncing off each other at times there, and Lasso trying to come back up the inside line through the first part of Spoon into the 2nd part now. Lasso through, they're still together side by side, neither of them giving the other one an inch as they come down towards 130R now, still rubbing doors as they come up towards one of the most difficult places to overtake in world motorsport. They're never going to stay side by side. What's going to happen here? He can't tuck in because there's the other Ferrari right around the outside, though goes Statsenko, manages to get it done. That's a great move from the Ferrari driver. Borges Arzo out wide in the background, and now coming back at him is Lasso through the Casio triangle, still together, still touching and rubbing doors. Lewis Wood has got past Jonathan Riley at the same time, so a great move there. Laubisch is leading this pro race with Partonen leading in AM. Here comes Partonen with Laubisch on the inside. Not his race to fight. Partonen should let that one go relatively easy, but what a bit of racing there between Lasso and Statsenko through 130R into the Casio triangle as Riley's now coming back on Woods through the first curve in towards the snake. Woods and Riley going hammer and tongue, and Woods manages to get back through on the Ferrari driver there. And Lewis Woods trying to stake a claim with no Gabriel out there today in this championship. Gaining a lot of points. Obviously, them 2 drop scores will take effect, but Lewis Woods, what a moment there for him. Manages to stay in front, and Statsenko, brilliant bit of driving from him. Casper Tunstedt now trying to follow Borges Arzo through. He didn't have the same sort of pace as Borges Arzo in the first race. Borges Arzo was on the back of Sarni as well, trying to make up places, maybe get on the podium in that AM category. But to get on the podium, they've got to get to Lopez, who's right up the order in front of at least 6 pro cars there. Tunstedt a little wide, and hopped over the curb on the exit of the hairpin. That's going to allow Pereira to have a look. He's got to run through 200R. Not able to get alongside. He's going to think of doing it up the inside. No, he's not. 10-second post-race penalty for Cotran, moving in the braking zone, causing a collision with Perez. So he's been given a 10-second post-race penalty. Perez is actually down the order. And Cotran there, in fact, I believe Perez is done in this race. His race is not being run anymore. And Andonovski then, currently second in the Pro class, hanging on in there over Alex. And you've got your race leaders coming up behind, or the race leaders from race one, should I say, coming up behind this train. Laubish hasn't checked out up front at the moment. There they all are. There's Beltran, the red and black. Porsche in the background, just coming under some pressure from Sarni. Borges is also trying to go with them as well. He's dropped that at Tunstead after Tunstead's mistake. Here is Pereira on the back of Tunstead. Getting really close is the Ferrari driver now, really trying to work his way up through the snake and maybe make some moves on Tunstead. It'll be interesting to see what Pereira can do. At the minute, it's Laubish who leads this race. Parton in second place. He leads in the AM category. Here is Verhoeven. His championship rivals in front and behind. His closest rivals behind them. That's the key thing for him here. He's beat Parton in race one. He was second while Parton third. So gained a couple more points over him there. And would love to get close, if not past Parton in this race. Down the hill. Out to Spoon corner they come once more. Already 5 minutes gone in this race. So really, you've got to get on with it, because 25 minutes left, 24 minutes left, should I say. Laps will run out around here. There in the background then is Pereira having a look on Tunstead. Who's that round in the background? I believe that was Alvaro. Big moment on his own on the exit of 130R. Front bumper wiped off the face of the car. He's not going to dive into the pit lane. He'll be massively struggling with some aero performance on the front of that car, and that's just going to hurt him, you reckon, later on in this race. But continuing on, Casper Tunstead trying to defend from Pereira. He's got Petri as well just behind. Oh, right over the curb there was Pereira. Really aggressive through the snake. Pushing him though, isn't he? He's right there with Tunstead. Interesting to see these different lines through the corners at the snake as they come up towards Dunlop now. Tunstead just managing to stay ahead. And that McLaren looks like it's just a bit better on corner exit at the moment, although he's a bit wide through the first of the Degners there. Didn't really catch the apex properly. And Tunstead now under heaps of pressure from Pereira behind. But Pereira's gone to the outside. You saw the lights flashing on the car. They just had to have a dab on the brake. And Tunstead stays in front of Pereira at the moment, just in front of this, by the way. Borges also is all over the back of Jan Sarni as well. There they are. So we can see a few replays from the start of this race, and it was a decent start. This is Perez. This is what happened to him. There's the moving under braking that caught Perez out. We have an onboard. Here we go. Look, on the brakes, moves to the left. Yeah, you cannot do that one. And that's the 10-second post-race penalty. And here's the Alvaro spin that we saw. Look, again, just that Porsche through 130R on the curb. Rear goes light. So easily done round 130R there. Laubish out front has not got away in this race at the moment. 6/10 quicker on the last lap. Laubish, has he had a slowdown at some point for a bit of a off-track? Got Partonen right side by side with him. He had a 2-minute 0.8, was a second slower than Partonen. Oh, what's happened there? He's well off at turn 1, into the wall. Well, we're going to have to see that one back, because I don't think there was any contact. Maybe the smallest bit, but the front end of Pordonant just went. And to the left it went. And that moves him down the order. Well, that's a shame. But Nicholas Laubishan leads this race once again. He was on the outside line and ported him for his championship with Verhoeven and Lopez. That's going to really hurt him, as he's all the way down in 12th place in class. While now, Eno Verhoeven is your race leader in the AM category. Andonovski coming under pressure from Alex. This is for second and third in the pro category. Nearly a third of the way through this race. Great to see the AMs mixing it with the pros though here and being competitive as well. So what's Verhoeven's fastest lap? A 59.6. And the best for Laubis is a 2:08. So I wonder if Laubis has just picked up a few off tracks that's invalidated a few lap times and not given him a fast one. Either way, Verhoeven is now going to try and get past him. He'll want to get past him here to maybe just put a car between himself and Lopez. This is on board with Alex, coming down over the start line. On the back of Andonovski. The question for Portland is going to be, how much damage does that car have? It's turn 1, just patient. Wait to pick up the throttle. Now he does. Down 2 gears he went. Again, just patient. Borges also has got past Sarni in the background. And Tunsted's got ahead of Sarni as well. So what's happened there? He's tumbled down to P8. So Borges also moves up into 4th in class, but at what expense of Jan Sarni? Was there a coming together? Sarni now has got Vartinen all over the back of him for the Trailbreakers Racing. Very interesting. Very interesting second race. Not seeing Lewis Woods come through the field like I kind of was expecting to see, really, with the pace he had in race 1. I suppose the nature of this circuit, isn't it? You know, tighter track than normal. And if there's not the opportunity, Lewis Woods is not going to force that issue. Here is Statsenko coming under a bit of pressure from Lasso. Once again, we saw these two put on a heck of a fight on lap 1. And they're going side by side into Spoon. That is Lasso on the outside, being left a car's width. And Statsenko keeps hold of that position for the time being. Lewis Woods and Jonathan Riley right up the rear wing of this train. They're not on the back of Alex. This is on with Jonathan Riley. You see Lewis Woods is the car in front. The green and black is that of Lasso. And Riley there, wise enough to not go for a move at 130R. When you're not fully alongside, you do not stick the nose up the inside. Woods! Oh, he's braked on the grass! He's lost it all on his own! Has to stay stationary until he's able to move. But Lewis Woods, race 1 winner, has dropped it all on his own there. He won't believe he's made that mistake. 7th place he is now in class. Right down the order. Tunstad and Pareda go side by side. Tunstad on the outside. Pareda will have the inside line there. They come together just about, and they're still together. Bit of a wiggle from Pareda. Does that give Tunstad the line into the snake? It does. And Tunstad stays in front for the time being. These two are having one heck of a scrap as well. Borges also trying to get on the back of Beltran for that podium position. Look at behind then of Pareda. Petri's having a look at making a move as well. Lewis Woods did not put a foot wrong in race 1. And here, just braked on the grass a little bit, it looked like. And Rio went round. It's Borges also to Beltran here. It's 1.2 seconds. Also fastest lap to Beltran. Pretty similar, to be fair. There's Andonovski with Alex still on the back of each other. Statsenko, Lasso, Riley just behind. We have got a couple more replays we can show you. This is Laubish that got the slowdown through 130R that caused this moment. And that may have been a bit of netcode, but yeah, the front end of Parton's car went straight off. And look, Lewis Woods just slightly on the grass, the smallest amount. And that is painful to sit and wait as everybody goes past you. He rejoins, but that Parton incident there, that was a very, very interesting one to see happen. Andonovski, second place at the moment in the Pro category. Great result for him. Here is Petri on the back of Pareda. Tunstead just in front. A good gaggle of cars here behind Pareda. Perez out this race. Prada never took to the start. Andonovski coming under pressure from Alex through the Degners. Alex on the outside, trying to tuck back underneath through the second Degner. Andonovski just runs a little wide onto that runoff area. Whoa, wallop into the rear from that of Alex. As they break in towards the hairpin, pushes him wide. That's allowed Lasso to get a run on Statsenko. Alex has given the place back to Andonovski. You can see the front end damage though. And look at this, Riley on the back of Statsenko. You've got Lasso on the inside as they come in towards Spoon Curve yet again. And a bit of a tap there as well on the back of Lasso from Riley, very minor. And we all stay after all that excitement as we were. And we go once again down towards 130R. So Andonovski coming under huge pressure from Alex at the moment. And Statsenko and Lasso have put on an absolute exhibition, in how to drive side by side around such a tight circuit, because they've been side by side more in this race. Through the Casio triangle, then down towards the start line they come. Beltran still P3 in that AM class, but has got Borja Zarzo, 1.7 actually now, the gap between them two. So Borja Zarzo's not closed the gap on Beltran. Hovinen still leads in AM, Laubish still leads in Pro. The gap's 1.6 seconds between the front two there. And we all just calm down a little bit more before we get up towards the hairpin once again. Here's Lewis Woods, by the way, 7th in the Pro class. And down behind 9th place in AM. He's going to have the bit between his teeth. We're into the second half of the race. He's going to have the bit between his teeth now to really start to put the hammer down, make some moves, make up some places, try and gain closer to the back of Riley. I don't think he's going to in this one. He's about 11 seconds behind Riley, so he's got some time to make up. Petri's having a look on Pareda. No avail there through Degner 1. Maybe it's Degner 2 though, because Pareda's gone a little wide. Messes Degner 2 up a little bit. No, nothing happens there. Again, just wait once more. No further action between Andonovski and Alex there. Petri goes for the late lunge. Pareda makes contact. Petri not happy with that one. Will probably feel that Alex turned in on him. It looked a late lunge from Petri. I'm sure we'll see that one again. Well, that puts less pressure on Pareda. It gives Lewis Woods an extra position. And we can all just go again. Woods, some 12 seconds now behind Riley, being stuck in this traffic. Pulls out now on Matt of Vartinen. And he's past Vartinen, tucks back into 130R. And Woods is through. Makes up yet another place. Vartinen probably didn't fight that one too hard, didn't need to. But Woods now on the back of Sarni and Pareda. Here's your leaders in AM. Verhoeven and Lopez. Real tight battle between these two. Lopez, who had great pace in race 1, just hasn't really attacked the back of Verhoeven. So is he saving something? Has he got any more left in the tank to be able to mount an attack at the back part of this race? 11.5 minutes left to go, so not long in this race. Verhoeven doing a brilliant job. This fight has been epic. Andonovski, Alex, Statsenko, Lasso, Riley. A few replays to show you once again. This is Sarni, who had a moment, so that's where Borges also got past. And then this is the Petri incident there. Look, yeah, just a dive bomb up the inside, really, into the side of Pareda there. That's again the spin there from Sarni that lost out to Borges also earlier in this one. As the leaders of AMP, first and second, Verhoeven and Lopez having a look now, having a bit more of a squabble. Is Lopez probably wanting to get a move on with this. There's Andonovski in the background with that train of cars. And Verhoeven, easy to defend around here. Difficult to overtake. Verhoeven has just got to place the car exactly where he needs to. You can see that's what he's trying to do at the moment down the start line. That McLaren just gaining on the back of Verhoeven and a little more. Nothing comes of it into a little wiggle there for Verhoeven, and the door opens slightly now for Lopez. He'll be on the outside at the first part of the snake, and did Verhoeven's little moment there cost him this race lead? They just touch a little bit. Lopez is through, they tap a little bit more, but Francisco Lopez gets the jump on Verhoeven, and it was just a moment through turn 1. What's happened to Statsenko behind? He's dropped down the order as well. He's dropped well off the back. He's nearly in the path of Beltran. He's lost a couple of seconds, so something happened to him, but Verhoeven's little moment through turn 1 and 2 just opened the door. Beltran's got past Statsenko pretty easy there. Does he have a problem? Has he maybe just overheated the tyres? Has he had a bit of a spin on his own and just trying to cool them tyres down a little bit? Andonovski just parking it on the apex of the corner. He is not letting anyone pass today. With Statsenko being behind Beltran, that could really help him out. Lewis Woods has just got past Pareda. That could help Borges also out, sorry, in the battle of Beltran, with Statsenko going to try and pass him to get back onto the rear of this group. But he's now lost out to Lasso and Riley. Andonovski a little wide on the exit of 130R there. And again, Alex pretty much pushing him through the chicane. Really, he's trying everything he can to get past, but just can't do anything at the moment. Here he comes down the start line in the slipstream of the Ferrari in front. The McLaren of Alex going to go to the outside of turn 1. Round the outside he goes. Is he going to work for the second part of this? Might, you know, just squeezes, but they managed to just rub doors, and that's about it. And Alex, that is a great move. Round the outside, up the inside for the first part of the snake. P2 in class. Great move there from Alex. Lovely driving. Lasso now on the back of Andonovski. This is what happened to Statsenko then. So he's on the back. That's Lasso behind him. Coming into the snake. Oh, Lasso went for a gap that wasn't really there. Just tapped the rear. Well held from Statsenko. This is on board with Lasso then. And as you can see, look. Yeah. It's a little silly that. That's probably going to be a penalty coming his way. Ruben Lasso there. Verhoeven still with Lopez, and he needs to still be with Lopez. He needs Lopez to have a moment like he's had. Woods has got past Tunstead now, so he needs to try and get back onto the rear of the pack, but 6.5 minutes, probably not going to happen. Damage limitations for Woods in this race. Nicholas Laubisch looking for his second race win of the season. 6 different race winners in the pro category. And only the 4 different race winners in AM. But Lopez will try and make it 4 wins apiece between himself and Verhoeven. There's Alexi Parton, and he's back up to 11th in class and not making the progress he'd have liked. Maybe a bit of damage on the front of that Ferrari. Here is Casper Tunstead after being overtaken by Lewis Woods. Been a pretty eventful second race here. The reverse grid providing dramas once again. Lasso still trying to have a look on Andonovski. Still got Riley with him. I'll tell you what, Statsenko has dropped into the clutches of Borges Orzo here. And Borges Orzo will fancy getting past because he'll want to get on the back of Beltran for a podium. There he is, look. Just getting a little closer to that of Statsenko. Maybe he can use Statsenko to get closer to the back of Beltran. Ace has just tailed off a little bit in this race. We've seen some times in the high 58s in race 1. We've only seen Lewis Woods 58.993 for the fastest lap. High 59s a lap in this time around consistently. Laubisch has done a 59.1 as his best, but you see Lewis Woods' fastest lap. Drive-through for Ruben Lasso. Drive-through penalty for the contact through the snake on lap 11 with Statsenko. So race control have given him the penalty. And that is going to hurt him because it is a pretty long pit lane here at Suzuka. Will he come straight in to do it? This will possibly give Lewis Woods another place. No, stays out. So he'll have to do it in 3 laps. Lasso's actually having a look on Andonovski here as they're coming towards turn 1. He's going to try the same as what Alex did, maybe around the outside. Just a little wiggly there from Andonovski. Uses that runoff on the outside line. The first part of the snake is Lasso through. Now they're still side by side together. Whoa, came very, very close. Now Riley fancies a look, but he's patient and will wait further back while Lasso's attacking the rear of Andonovski. Then up towards Dunlop they come. Both cars a little twitchy at different stages there, but Andonovski hangs on to that P3 at the moment. Lasso gets a decent run. He goes to the outside for what will be the hairpin all over the curb. Going to try and go the long way round. Gets the traction out the corner, can he, to get alongside. Squeeze and squeeze, but he gets there. He's got the nose up, and I tell you what, Lasso gets through on Andonovski. That's a lovely move. Got better traction out the hairpin. And Lasso then, even though he's got the drive-through penalty, gets the move done. They're still rubbing bumper to bumper there, and Andonovski a big twitch through the first part of Spoon. And Jonathan Riley will not need a second invitation to take that place away from him. This now puts Riley on that podium once again for another P3. And I believe Statsenko has had another moment because he's dropped behind Lewis Woods. Just looking at the last lap, so it must have been this time around that he's had a moment somewhere. So Lewis Woods is back up to 6th. Lasso's in for that drive-through penalty. Borges Orzo is now free to try and gain on the back of Beltran with 2 minutes to go. So this is the penultimate lap of the race that Laubisch has started. There is Lasso. Where is Woods? There, he's just gone through. So what has happened to Statsenko here then? Just a 2:12 last lap. There he is. And stays behind that of Lasso, who's done the drive-through penalty. Is down to P6, so he's going to have work to do in this final 2 laps to hold off that of Statsenko, provided Statsenko can mount a challenge. Can he over Harvinen, who's still been within half a second of Lopez, mount a challenge? Laubish, Alex, Riley. We've got some more replays we can show you now. The last ones of the race. This is Rocco having another moment. Oh, that's gone the opposite way this time. That's a huge hit into the wall on the outside of 130. Oh, saw him in race 1 have a spin to the left. Here we go. This is what happened, look. Rio went light, tried to catch it, and it just snapped on him into the wall. This is Statsenko then. This is what happened to him. Again, another moment of the rear of the Ferrari just going light through turn 1. And that was him dropping it there. That's why he's dropped down the order. Borges also 2.6 off the back of Beltran, but Beltran's really on the back of Andonovski. Second place, third place in AM versus 4th place in Pro. So anything happens there, and Zarzo might be in for a shout. As Nicholas Laubish starts then the final lap of the race. Kasper Tunstad P5 in the AM class. As it stands, Statsenko trying to still gain on the back of Ruben Lasso at the moment, but there's a car between them, that is Vartan. Nicholas Laubish did it the hard way because he had to fight with Alex Partonen for a little bit. Here comes Kasper Tunstad. Through the first couple, through the first part of the snake up towards Dunlop. Laubish well out in front, 6 seconds clear of Lopez. Lopez has just gapped Verhoeven a little bit. That's now opened up to nearly 7 tenths. So Lopez here today, terrific results, double wins. Great for him. There he is. There's Verhoeven. We saw him get this. We saw him get his close towards the end, though. Last time out at Road Atlanta, when he ran out of fuel, he shouldn't this time. He's already done it once. Statsenko has cleared Vartan, and Sad will put him on the back of Lasso for the remainder of this lap. Your race leader, Nicholas Laubish. Well, he couldn't buy a result, and now, due to that reverse grid, he's going to become a 2-time race winner this season. Comes into the Casio triangle. Nicholas Laubish, for the final time this evening, will take the checkered flag and will be the pro race winner. And a great result for him, back on the top step of the podium. He'll be thoroughly pleased with that one. Francisco Lopez, double race win today. And that is going to put him really in contention now. Eno Verhoeven, 2nd place. Alex will come across for 2nd place in Pro. Jonathan Riley, 3rd place in the Pro category. Andonovski, 4th place. Beltran will take 3rd place in AM from Borges Arzo. Lewis Woods, P5 in Pro. Tunstad will take P5. Hang on in there for P5 with Pareda and Sarni. 6th and 7th in AM. Lasso, 6th in the Pro category. Statsenko, 7th in Pro. Partonen, Lepre, Vartanen, 8th, 9th and 10th in AM. The blue and yellow Porsche of Jan then takes P12, P11. Alvaro takes 12th place. Valverde, P8 in Pro. Nyman, P13. And that was really the end of an epic race. We'll bring you that final classification in just a few moments' time. But Nicholas Laubish and Lewis Woods today both make themselves 2-time race winners. And Francisco Lopez is now a 4-time race winner. What a day for these drivers. It's been absolutely fantastic racing. The reverse grid, again, provided such entertainment and great value for money if you're a huge fan of Suzuka. The fireworks started in that 2nd race just ahead of bonfire night, and what a week it's going to be here now. We've got that week's rest for these drivers. The pre-qualification will open a week tomorrow. So that means that for these drivers, they'll be able to just have that week's rest, maybe a bit of testing going into Watkins Glen. The week after, though, a week on Monday, will be pre-qualification for that race. If you want to sign up to that race or take part in it and register, go to apexracingleague.com over there. Make sure that you are signed up for that one, and I've done your pre-qualification time to be inside the top 30 in either Pro or AM. The Pro is 3,500 plus iRating, and the AM is 3,500 and less for that category. The results then for today's second race. Nicholas Laubish, your Pro race winner, and overall race winner from me, Francisco Lopez, who won in AM. Eno Verhoeven second place in AM, with Alex taking second, with Jonathan Riley third in the Pro category. Andonovski finished sixth overall and fourth in Pro. Miguel Beltran was also on the podium in the AM category in P7 overall from Borges. Also, great race from Borges today. Great to see him back up the order. Lewis Woods, P9, after his own moment at the Casio Triangle. Casper Tunstad down in 10th. Adrian Pereira from Jan Sarni. Ruben Lasso with that drive-through finished 13th, ahead of Statsenko, P14, Alexei Partanen. After that moment at turn 1 was down in 15th place. Petri in 16th. Jan Vartanen from Jan, another Jan in P18. Alvaro was P19, Marcus Valverde 20th. Nyman, Rocco, Camillo, P21, 22 and 23. Johannes 24th, Roggenbuck P25, Cotran P26. Chandler 5, 6 laps down in 27th. Igor Perez retired P28. We didn't get to see the start of Lucas Prada. So that then was the classification of that second race, obviously with Francisco Lopez taking the AM race win and Lewis Woods taking the Pro race win in the first race of the evening. It's been a great night of action. We will just wait to see if we get to speak with any drivers in the chat. We can do the Pro race winner in that second race. We can speak with Nicholas. Now, Nicholas, race 2 win for yourself. It's not been the best of results in recent weeks, but finally to get a good one here.
Yeah, it really took some time. My last few races here didn't really work out, so I'm really glad I got the position again, like P1 again. Yeah, the first race didn't really went to plan. I tried to squeeze into a gap where, well, there was no gap, but at least in the second one I managed to get the top 10 and get a reverse grid pole, or no, P2 it was, so in the end it worked out.
Yeah, in the end it worked out for yourself, but it wasn't easy, was it? Because you had the AM leader of Alexei Partanen to fight with for a little bit. Just talk us through that.
Yeah, it's crazy how some AM drivers now really have the pace to compete with us in a Pro category. So it's really nice seeing the whole field being spread out. Unfortunately, in some instances, like in 130R, for example, I had some internet issues which nearly caused me to crash, and I think then I had a contact with Alexei in turn 1, but I didn't look at the replay yet, so I don't know really what happened there. But other than that, I think it was a really good race.
Really good race for yourself. We head to Watkins Glen. You're in that challenge of the top 5 for the championship standings at the end of the season. What can you do at Watkins?
Watkins is one of my favorite tracks, so I hope I can get a good result. But yeah, I'm not quite sure about the BOP. The Ferrari, I think, is quite good there, and I never drove the Macca on there, so let's see how it works out in the end.
Well, Nicholas, congratulations on the race 2 win. Well done today.
Thank you.
Let's Laubish there then. Your race 2 winner. We can, apologies, just say the name again. I didn't catch you. We can speak with Alex, who finished P2 in the Pro category then. Alex, P2
Hello.
In this second race, but that was a hard race for yourself. That was really tough.
The second race was really tough. I don't know how I finished second. In the first race, I didn't have any pace, so I didn't expect this.
Didn't expect it, but this is what the reverse grid brings, isn't it? These different grids, these different challenges for drivers, and it works.
Yeah, I looked at where 2 new drivers in the Pro category. They were faster than me, than Nicholas, and they almost catch Lewis Woods. So I was trying to survive a little, and then I finished P2.
P2, it was a really good fight though with Andonovski, wasn't it? You was really sort of trying your hardest to get past him.
Yeah, we had some contacts, leaving the space. He was incredible defense. He had an incredible defense, so really difficult to pass him. But at the final, he was pushing too hard, and the tires didn't still alive for him.
Well, Alex, congratulations on the P2 today. Very well done indeed. We'll hopefully see you at Watkins Glen in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, you will see me. And can I say something, please?
Yes, of course.
I want to say sorry to Lucas Prada for the contact. I was trying to let him pass, and that 0x made him lose the rear part of his car, so I'm sorry from here. Sorry for that. So shit happens, but...
Yeah, indeed. Well, Alex, we'll let you go. Congratulations on the P2 there.
Thank you.
And just apologies on the language at the end there from Alex. P2 from him, though, so that is great to see. Jonathan Riley, though, can join us as well. He was P3 today in both races. Jonathan, first time, really, out there on the GT3s here at Racing Unleashed. It was a good day for yourself.
Yeah, it was a great day. Yeah, race 1 went pretty well, actually. P3, along with Misha in P2. We worked together really well. And yeah, we managed to get ahead of the pack. Couple incidents here and there, but yeah, I'm glad I managed to get there in race 1. Race 2 was a bit more chaotic, so yeah, it's just all about keeping outside the danger, making sure I don't crash with anyone, and yeah, managed to do that. So yeah, decent result.
Decent result for yourself, and it was good pace really as well. Couldn't seem to match Lewis Woods in the first race, and just couldn't seem to get past anybody in the second race. It was, apart from that though, a good day.
Yeah, I don't know. I really struggled to close up to people in race 2. I'm not sure if it was like I really couldn't cope with the dirty air, or that I kept making these small micro corrections and mistakes, leading to my tires being a little bit off towards the next corner. I don't know, but yeah, again, when you're in a pack like that, you got to make sure that you really do not make these sorts of huge mistakes or incidents that cause yourself to, you know, fly off or lose even more time, because it's all about momentum. If you break that momentum, you're going to struggle. So I was just, more importantly, just trying to like keep it safe and try not to collide with anyone. So yeah, I guess that's how I finished the race.
All worked out for you, though, in the end, in that second race, managing to pick up a couple of places for P3. Watkins Glen, though, in a fortnight, different track completely to Suzuka, a bit wider as well, maybe a bit more overtaking, we'll see. If you're able to take part in that one, what do you think you could possibly do around Watkins Glen?
I don't know. I'm not very comfortable with Watkins Glen. You need a lot of commitment. It's a very high-speed circuit. As you said as well, it's very wide. So it's got a huge overtaking potential on that track. And also with the way that, you know, let's say in that chicane, after the first couple of corners, you have to completely send it. You're gonna have to trust the car will live over the bumps. You know, it won't spit you off into a wall. It's a very scary, high commitment circuit. So yeah, let's see. I'm gonna hope for a good result there as well.
Well, Jonathan, congratulations on the 2 P3s today. We'll let you go. Well done to yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jonathan Riley there, your third place man in the pro category. We can speak with your two-time race winner today, Francisco Lopez, from the AM category. Francisco, what a day for yourself. After the dramas of Road Atlanta, that is the way to bounce back.
Yeah, what a way. I really feel like these races are taking like years out of my life. It's very stressful for me. Eino fought I don't know. He did very well. It was very hard for me to follow with the overheating in the tires, because when you are chasing another car for too long, the tires go very, very hot. But it played out, and the risk that I took. So I'm very, very happy. But questioning is if I should keep on doing races, because I think I'm going to die when I'm about 50 or 60 if I keep going this way.
Good though for you in this championship, isn't it? Because you've closed a few points up on Eno and really started to mount an attack now with 2 races left to go.
Yes, it will be absolutely tight. I don't know what will happen. I will do my best. Eno is a very tough opponent, and if he does his best, it will be very, very close in the end. So maybe it's on luck, but I will do my part, and I think he will do his part. We will see.
we travel to Watkins Glen in 2 weeks' time, Francisco. Complete different circuit to Suzuka today. What can you do around there at the Glen? Because overtaking possibly going to be a little easier.
Well, yeah. We will have to see with the bus stop, because I don't really like it. And I think it undermines your confidence if you know that you can do that corner very well every lap. But we will see. I will work on it. I will get to know the setup, the track and the car. And I think it will be a good track.
It will indeed. Francisco, congratulations on the 2 race wins today. Enjoy that one. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. See you.
So great double win there for Francisco Lopez. We can now speak with Eno Verhoeven, I do believe. So second place in that race too, but it looked like a little mistake from yourself that cost the race win.
Yeah, it did, I guess. I think my pace was all right in the second race. It's Francisco somehow got up to me very close, and I just had a little oversteer, and yeah, he immediately took his chance and overtook me.
Now, I remember 2 weeks ago you were saying that the Lamborghini might seem to struggle at Suzuka. It was good pace from yourself, but just not enough really today, was it?
Yeah, I don't know. In the first race I had really big damage from the first lap. My left rear suspension was completely bent, so the car was like oversteering very much into right-handers and understeering left-handers, so it was very difficult to drive, and I had no pace in the first race, and in the second one it was all right, the pace. I just did a mistake, and yeah.
Watkins Glen though, next time out. Championship really still on between yourself and Francisco after today's results. What can you do at Watkins Glen?
Hopefully win. No idea.
Well, congratulations on the second place in that race 2 and in race 1 as well. Congratulations today, and we'll see you next time out at Watkins Glen.
Thank you.
And we can speak with Miguel Beltran now as well. P3 for Miguel in race 2. And a really good fight with the pro drivers as well at one stage.
Yeah, that was a very difficult race with Porsche. It's very loose in the rear, and the final part of the stints of the races, the 130 turn, it's very difficult with Porsche, and one mistake it means that you are out. But finally, a very good result in all season. So I'm very happy with that.
It looked good pace from the Porsche. You're saying it's difficult to drive, but you had good pace all day, really. You was challenging for them podiums all day long.
Yeah, I'm very familiar and had a lot of experience in this track. I love this track with Porsche. Yeah, it's difficult, but I like it, and I feel very comfortable the first 20 minutes of each race, but the last 10 minutes was very difficult.
Very difficult to hang on in there. Did you think at one stage Borges Arzo was going to get near you? Because he seemed to have some pace behind.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just I feel very comfortable with this car in this track, and I don't know the experience.
Watkins Glen, 2 weeks time, Miguel. What can you do around Watkins?
Yeah, I expect that Porsche could be a good option. Depends of the setup and the condition of the track, and we see.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the P3 in race 2, Miguel. We'll hopefully see what you can do in a couple of weeks' time at Watkins Glen.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you there to all the drivers on the podium this afternoon for speaking with us. What a day it's been here at Suzuka. 2 great races, and we've got 2 left to go. Watkins Glen on the 17th of November before the 1st of December finale at Sebring. As well as, don't forget, the 16th of November will be back on the Assetto Corsa platform for Challenge 2 between the Challenge League and the Racer League. Unknown circuit, we'll find out that 10 days before. That'll be, I believe, the 13th, or no, sorry, we're on the 23rd of November. We find out on the 13th what the circuit will be for Assetto Corsa. So that is actually the week after Watkins Glen. But what a race it's been today. What an opportunity it's been for all these drivers to gain some points and some momentum going into that final 2 as we enter now the real crucial stage of the season. Thanks all for joining us and watching. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye.